Hey, gang, welcome to another episode of Vital Vinyl. My name's Vernon Smith, the host of this wonderful show where I talk about my records. But since I've already talked about all my records now, I'm gonna switch to the music I have digitally. And today we're going to be discussing. Hey, today we're going to be discussing Poison. 80s hair metal glam band Poison. But I can't really show it to you on here. I'm going to be using my phone because I never bothered to name the tracks. So it's just audio track 1. Oh, that was a great one, wasn't it? Audio track 2. Remember that one? And who can forget all the times and memories that audio track 3 contained? Am I right? No. So I pulled them up on my streaming service here. That's the album right there. Their greatest hits from 1986 to 1996. And I'm guessing most of them are going to be around the 86 mark. So I actually bought this CD years ago, so the songs on here were legally purchased and transferred. As are all of my digital files, of course. Anywho, I was not a big CD person. CD's nuts. But I did get this CD back in like the late 90s, early 2000s for some reason. Was never a big Poison fan as a kid, but I just remember hearing like Talk Dirty to Me one day and was like, God, that is a really rocking song. Let me find the album that it's on. And I remember maybe I didn't find the album and I just saw the greatest hits and was like, all right, well, this has some other songs. So I picked it up. Now, let me take a moment. Let's pause right there. All right, let's just put a pin in that for a second and talk about this show. Okay. First of all, last week I was only at 52 subscribers, but when I checked yesterday, I was at 53. So welcome aboard, everyone new, and welcome back, everyone old, including me. The first almost 50 or so episodes, I talked about my 50 or so records that I have that were essential to me rebuilding my record collection, because I'm from New Orleans and in 2005 Hurricane Katrina came and washed them all away. And so I really stopped collecting for the most part until last year when I got back into that and into old vintage audio stuff, which explains all the silver and the meters and the wood. That too. But I've already talked about all my records, but I like doing this. So I've switched it up, or I'm going to switch it up from, instead of just talking about my albums or my vinyl, I'm also going to talk about music that I have on digital that maybe one day I'll purchase again on vinyl. Don't know. But they are albums that I like and that I think you might like too. Or you might just like hear me talking about them. Who knows? You decide. And I might even go back, because some of my previous videos I talked more about the band and the records. Like I might have like 3 or 4 different albums by band, and I'd talk about, hey, and this is one time I saw them at a show in 1991 or something. But I think I might actually start breaking down the albums and discussing why they're good records. Okay? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I think I might give that a shot with this little jam that we're talking about today. Poison's greatest hits from 1986 to 1996. And it starts off with Looking for Nothing But a Good Time, which is a pretty good rockin' song. It is a good time to listen to it, I'll have to say. And it's a great way to kick off the album. Followed by Talk Dirty to Me. That was a song written by CC DeVille, the guitarist for the band. Fun fact is that Slash actually auditioned for Poison, and so the band could have had a totally different sound. Bret Michaels, lead singer of Poison, preferred Slash, but the other boys in the band, was it Ricky Rocket and Bobby Dahl? Yes, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive those are the names. Bobby Stahl, I don't know, Bobby something, and Ricky Rockets. They liked CC better, but Bret Michaels liked Slash better. But Slash, he wasn't too big of a fan of the whole glammy, makeup-y stuff, so they kind of went with CC. Would have been interesting had Slash joined the band. But what does Bret Michaels know? He was just the winner of Celebrity Apprentice 3. Remember that? Remember when the former president of the United States picked the singer of Poison to run a corporation? There's a sentence you hear every day. Anyhow, yeah. But CC was more interested in doing his own songs, and so he came up with Talk Dirty to Me, and it was a pretty good hit. Followed by Unskinny Bop. Whatever that means. It's a song about doing it. Because if you've ever heard any Poison song, and if you've ever heard more than one, you probably pick up on the fact that Bret Michaels was one horny little son of a gun. Yes, he was. He loved the ladies. He loved being intimate with the ladies, which I guess is why he had 3-4 seasons of a show called Rock-a-Love as well. And actually, years later, whenever that show did come on, years later after Unskinny Bop came out, Rock-a-Love was on, as was Flavor of Love. There were quite a few celebrity love shows on VH1 in the 2010 era, late single 2000 numbers to I don't even know what that, I don't know, from like 2008 to 2012, would that be whatever? And yeah, Bret Michaels was star of one of them, Rock-a-Love, where he had a house full of ladies vying for his affection. And each year, he would choose the one closest to his heart. I was obsessed with that show, not gonna lie, and also with Flavor of Love, because your boy was a huge Public Enemy fan back in what the kids refer to as the day. So much so that as a comic book artist and writer, creator, I even came up with a book that was parodying such shows. And that book was called Return of the Living Dead. Hold on one second while I grab a copy of it. Bing! Oh, yeah. Here's what it looked like. There's the back of it. Put this out in 2010, right before the birth of my daughter, because I knew I wouldn't have time to work on comics for another year or two, and I didn't. So this book is a parody of those type of celebrity love shows, only instead of a washed up musician, the celebrity was a zombie. This guy named Ben, who, if you've ever seen the original Night of the Living Dead, he's the main dude that was in it, who gets shot at the end. Spoiler alert. Sorry, the movie came out like 50 or 60 years ago. If you haven't seen it by now, yeah. So in this book, it takes place in that world of the movie. But Ben comes back as a zombie, and he becomes a celebrity. And now it's, 20 years later, and there's a house full of girls that are trying to win the heart of someone who's eventually just going to eat them. And so it kind of showcases all the dumb things that the girls in these shows would do. Anyhow, as I was making that book, I was listening to a lot of Public Enemy, mostly Fear of a Black Planet, because that's my fave album by those guys. And also listening to Poison's greatest hits. So that was a good side ramble. Let's see. Next track on this jam is Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Bit of a hit for the band, yeah. And it's it's a bit forced. It's a bit like heartstring. Like, God, it even starts with Brett sighing. Like, literally starts that way. Fallen Angel, yeah. The hits kind of fall off at this point. Because I was around during this time, and I don't really recall hearing these songs too much on the radio or seeing them on the MTV. I mean, I was a little punk rock kid, so I didn't really listen to all that stuff. But still, there's some things that you do hear. I don't remember Fallen Angel. But it's a kind of rockin' song. But a lot of these songs, the lyrics, I don't know, like the music is rockin', but the lyrics are they kind of sound like they're written for a band on a TV show. Like it's not like really in-depth, meaningful. It's just kind of phrases that are just thrown together. Like, so, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't ever make them drink. Like, that would be something that would be in a typical Poison song. And you're the kind of girl who thinks shit don't stink. Like, that, just cliche rock, I guess. But it's still, I mean, fuck it can't all be Lennon and McCartney, right? Or Simon and Garfunkel or whatever. Pick your prolific music writer of choice. Yeah, but then the next song, I won't forget you, babe, I won't forget you. I do remember that one. That was a hit, but also kind of that cliche rock. Stand is the next song. Stand where lies and money become the white man's god. Yes, because only white people care about money. You never hear money mentioned in hip hop, not at all. I think lies and money become everyone's god. Ride the Wind, another song that kind of jams with shitty lyrics, yeah. Oh, and Look What the Cat Dragged In, which I believe is also a name of an album, too. Oh my God, followed by another Bret Michaels Wanna Get Laid song. Not even trying to hide it, just... I want action tonight, satisfaction, all right. And one of the lyrics is literally, I want a shot and I need it fast. If I can't have her, I'll take her and make her. Like, really? If I can't have her, I'll take her and make her. Like, you might as well just say, I'll take her and rape her. Like, dude, come kind of dial it back there. Oof. I don't think that song has aged too well in the old toxic masculinity Me Too time that we're in. Yeah, maybe. That doesn't sound too consensual there, Mr. Brett. Um, but then he dials it back with "Life goes on while you're miles away." So he shows that every bad boy does indeed have a soft side. Um, Flesh and blood, sacrifice, melts the heart like fire and ice. Yeah, real prolific, not cliche at all. Uh, Cry Tough. God, I don't remember that one. Um, yes. And who can remember? Who can forget? Who can remember? Who can forget this classic Poison original hit? Your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. That's right. That's what you want to put on a greatest hits album, is a fucking cover song. Yeah. Remember, that was originally by Loggins and Messina. Kenny Loggins of Danger Zone fame, and Jim Messina of Loggins and Messina fame. Might have been funnier if I hadn't stumbled over the punchline. Tell me why. I don't remember that one. Oh, give me something to believe in. I think that was when Bret Michaels was trying to recapture some of that Every Rose Has Its Thorn hitness. Definitely trying to pull at the old heartstrings there. Best friend dying and Vietnam veterans and whatever else he sings about, I forget. But I remember just kind of, it just reminded me of that. God, what's that Metallica video where one of the guys is walking down the street and he sees a homeless guy and he gives him a couple of bucks and he's like, yeah, hey, you guys get that on film? All right, cool. Like, could have given them more than a couple of bucks. Fucking Lars or whoever it was. No, it was the guitar player. Why can I not think of his name? Not Jason, and not James. Kirk. I think it was Kirk that gives the guy a couple of bucks. I don't know. One of them gives him a couple of bucks. And like, hey, why not fucking write him a check, or give him a car or something, buy him a restaurant, something. Sounds like socialism to me, boy. Sorry, but Metallica's doing all right. Okay, who am I arguing with? Something to believe in, and so all of that's pretty 80s, maybe 90 or 91. But this is the greatest hits from 86 to 96, and this is definitely one that's certainly 96. Sexual Thing. It's it is so 90s. You can definitely tell that the boys were feeling the pressure of 90s grunge band and just 90s music in general. Brett's voice definitely changes from the 80s glam hair sound to kind of a more sound like this. There's one part. Lying there, you look so horny. Talk's cheap, starting to bore me. Talk is cheap, starting to bore me. Like, yeah, that literally happens. Like, that's totally collective soul fucking yeah. Or Cracker Man, like roll me, get away, gotta get away. Stone Temple Pilots. Yeah, I mean, a handful of bands that just did their thing going on. So, and then it ends with "Lay Your Body Down." God, I forget exactly how that one goes, but I think I sung enough in this thing. But it was kind of a more slowy, jammy type of thing. Oh yes, yeah. It starts off like real kind of slow piano, November Rain or Home Sweet Home kind of sound to it, and just really. I spend my life waiting for that famous final scene. I believe you know the one which falls in love with me. Lay your body down on me tonight. Yeah, and then just builds up to like this big, more piano crescendo-y type thing, and then just fades out with like the, yeah, couple of piano notes. Um, so that was the greatest hits. Um, yeah, I believe that is all the songs from it. So if you get a chance, go check it out. That's what it looks like. That's what the CD looks like. It's got a skull with a big crazy leather top hat on it. So what do you think? Are you a fan of Poison? Are you a fan of Bret Michaels? Are you a fan of hair metal? 80s metal? Let me know in the comments. Or don't. But do. Why not? Let's kind of get the comments section a buzz with chatter. Okay? Unless you don't want to. I can't force you. But that will do it for now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-gender fluid binary folks of all ages. Thanks for joining. Take care and have a blessed day.